Good morning. Yay, thanks. Welcome to this Unitarian Universalist Church, which includes our congregations in Birmingham and Tuscaloosa, and all of our folks online. Whoever you are, whomever you love, wherever you are today, and wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are welcome here. To all who are here this morning, welcome home. We appreciate your attention to today's announcements. Please make sure to look in your order of service as well. We need volunteers for Election Day on March 5th. If you are able to be here and to help welcome folks in, let them know where the restrooms are, get them situated, help our poll workers. We also need folks to bring food and refreshment for our poll workers. There's sign-up sheets out in the narthex. Just take a look around. There are the volunteer sign-up sheets where you're actually here in the building, and then there's the opportunity to just provide refreshments for those really important poll workers. There's also a sign-up sheet and I believe a QR code on your connection card. Our circle suppers are in the process of being planned right now. If you are interested in that, please see me and I can make sure that you get the link to sign up for those. You host a dinner, you bring different types of food once a week for 3 months. I currently have enough for 2 groups, once a month for 4 months, 3 months. I'm sorry, y'all. I so appreciate Wanzanetta here. I currently have enough for 2 groups, and we would really like to be able to have 4 total groups, so that means I need 8 more couples to sign up. And a couple could be platonic, romantic, I don't care, just 2 folks. So if you need help with that, please see me after the service, and I'll make sure to get you that link. We also are still in need of a few folks to provide meals for Reverend Julie while she recovers from surgery. The link to the meal train is in the all-church email. We have a special announcement from Elizabeth this morning.
Hi, good morning. As Kylie said, I'm Elizabeth. I'm a part of the Mid-Something small group that we have, and we have some cool things planned, so I just wanted to tell you about them. Our Mid-Something small group is open to anybody who's like mid-20s, mid-30s, maybe you're a little bit older than that, maybe you're a little bit younger than that. We are currently meeting through hybrid and Zoom every Wednesday at 6 p.m. down in the library. We meet for community, we meet for friendships, we meet just because we love each other. So if you are interested, please talk to me. I'll give you a little flyer and I'll convince you to come. We also have some really fun Saturday events that is open to anybody of any age. We're planning an art museum day, which is free and your kids can come. We're thinking about hosting a Taylor Swift party. And we are going to the Cherry Blossom Festival at the Botanical Gardens at the end of March. So I have little flyers. Please talk to me. Please ask me about it. I love it so much. And yeah, thanks.
I also want to thank everybody who was here yesterday for our RE and outside cleanup. The rooms downstairs look really great, and I'm glad that a lot of folks were able to attend, so big thanks to everybody who was here. I'm going to clap. Back away from the mic to be respectful. Does anybody else have any special announcements? All right, cool. Please use your connection card to sign up for any of the upcoming events, to get a name tag, or to request information. The staff read these every week in our Monday staff meeting. Reverend Julie is out recovering from surgery, so please contact the office if you need anything, and your call will be routed appropriately. The prelude prepares us for worship. Oh, my apologies, yes. Thank you to the people who made the coffee this morning. Much appreciation.
And I would just like to share this text with you in the spirit of beginning our stewardship season that we'll be singing today. The onus is upon us all to work to improve the human condition. Perform good deeds, for that is truly the way to battle the forces of entropy that are at work in our world. The composite of all our efforts can have an effect. Good done anywhere is good done everywhere. When we unite in purpose, we are greater than the sum of our parts.
Please rise in body or in spirit for the lighting of the chalice. Here we are together, each facing our different human tasks, or maybe the same central one. To embrace the lessons life delivers, to discern and respond as we grow, to refuse harm and cherish flourishing. May we know ourselves as vessels of infinite possibility, holders of each other's heartaches and tales of joy alike. weavers of one story in which we each have our part. In the spirit of inclusivity and welcome, please greet those around you, especially those you may not recognize. Folks online, please greet each other in the chat.
Sure.
Please rise in body or spirit to join in our opening hymn, number 131, Love Will Guide Us. Love will guide us, peace has tried us, hope inside us will lead the way on the road from greed to giving. Love will guide us through the night. If you cannot sing like angels, if you cannot speak before thousands, you can give from deep within you. You can change the world with your love. Love will guide us. Peace has tried.
I am very excited to welcome Artemis up to give our Justice Minute for today.
Testing. Hello, can y'all hear me? I'm good. Okay. So Helen asked me a long time ago to do the Justice Minute. She helped. We good. Cool. So Helen asked me to do the Justice Minute a long time ago, and at the time I just couldn't think of what I wanted to talk about. And so she asked me a couple weeks ago, and I still was like, what am I gonna do? I got it. So this is not really like a cause in the sense of like, we gotta go out there and stop them from doing something. This is more of me just wanting to refresh the people's mind in the internet and here. So, can y'all say for me, what month is this? Yes. And that's what I want to talk about. So I just wanted to give like a brief history of Black History Month, since it's very important for the fabric of our country. So in case you all who did not know, Black History Month originally actually was a week. Started by Carter G. Woodson, who basically is the father of Black History Month. That's what we refer to him as. And he is the second Harvard graduate as a black man in this country after W.E.B. Du Bois. He recognized that all of the history talking about black people in this country was dehumanizing and not really showing any of our strengths, our accomplishments. So he decided to, you know what, let's start a week talking about the accomplishments of African Americans in this country. And so the reason February was chosen, because I always like to joke, it was the shortest month, what? But in reality, the reason February was chosen was due to the birthdays of Abraham Lincoln and Frederick Douglass. So originally it was a week, and then a few traditions started where people started to learn more, and academics started to teach their students a lot more about Black history. And then Carter G. Woodson wanted to expand it because, you know, not just for academics to do, but for the lay people of the world. So the goal was to recognize the contributions and achievements of African Americans, often overlooked in mainstream history, and the observers gained a lot of popularity and significance over the years. And in 1976, as part of the United States bicentennial, it evolved into Black History Month as we know it. So the U.S. government officially recognized it, and it remains a dedicated time to celebrate, educate the people about African American history and culture. And it continues to go on and on if you think about it from then when they started to now, like we still need it. And the crazy thing, y'all, while I was researching this, I did not know there was a certain bill in Alabama that got passed the city. It's called SB 129. Have any of y'all ever heard of that recently in the news? Like, they are like trying to slip this in. And I was like, wow, you're doing this in Black History Month. Great. Hold on. Got my notes are like messing up here. I was trying to read the synopsis. Okay. This bill, SB 129, would prohibit certain public entities, including state agencies, local boards of education, and public institutions of higher education from maintaining a diversity, equity, and inclusion office or department, or sponsoring any diversity, equity, and inclusion program or program that advocates for what they say a divisive concept. And this bill will also prohibit certain public entities from promoting, endorsing, or requiring affirmation of certain divisive concepts, that's their language, relating to race, sex, religion. And it will also prohibit certain public entities from conditioning enrollment or attendance in certain classes or trainings on the basis of race or color. So as you can see, in a nutshell, they're trying to shut down a lot of DEI stuff in this state. So using that bill as an example, you can see why Black History Month is so important. Because if you wipe away Black History Month, then you can't explain the history of this freaking country. And if you pay attention to the shirt I'm wearing, I got this at the Legacy Museum. So if you have not been to the Legacy Museum, I highly recommend you go. It is heavy. It's just, that's the way it is. It's a heavy topic, but we need to know our history or else we're doomed to repeat it. Oh my God, I can't do this.
Thank you so much, Artemis. I'm now excited to have Xander come up here for our stewardship moment.
I knew this thing was going to be too tall. Hi, y'all. So my name is Xander. I am here to talk about stewardship. So a little closer. Is that better? I'm sorry, guys. So my name is Xander. I'm here to talk about stewardship. So, stewardship, the beginning of kind of the importance of this topic is, what has the church done for us, for me, that's made it, important. So, this church, I've been going here since 2018. This church has been instrumental in the development of accepting myself and feeling, safe enough to be myself out in public. We come here every week, and at the end of the day, this environment, this place is a safe environment for all of us, especially those of us that are minorities. So I'm a substance abuse assessor, and so one of the questions that I ask for my assessments is, so who is somebody, or, what is a place that enhances your energy? And I come here, and I was just reminded as I came here that this place enhances my energy. This place is a positive influence on me and our community. And with that, I think we need to remember that it's important to definitely support our church in whatever way that we can. So whether that's volunteering, because let's face it, we can never have enough volunteers for our events and our activities. I know that as being one of the people that have tried to plan things. But also, it's important to make sure we're giving money to our church, because we can't survive, without us giving money and our time. It's as simple as, instead of spending that $20 on Amazon, every month, on your cat costume, basically, okay, you take that $20 and you put it towards the church, and then, that's over $200 a year. So just kind of making sure that we're keeping in mind to support this place, because if we don't, it can't survive. So anyway, love y'all, awesome.
Good morning. Let's say it again. Yeah, I don't think I should touch it. And he's going, no, don't touch it. Let's say it again. Good morning. Is that better? Yes. It is so good to be back in my home congregation. I was here a long time, and you all taught me much, and to be virtually with my congregation in Tuscaloosa, where I first served as a UU minister. So what a joy. What a joy. Our lives are busy. They are hectic. They are filled with challenges. Some of you brought burdens today. Some of you brought joy. Our lives are a mix of all these things. So in the midst of that mix, I invite you to enjoy some silence. Let's breathe. As we breathe, we celebrate the voices of our children. We love our children. That's okay. And I will close us with a few words. We are born into the middle of the human story, and we will leave in the middle. We cannot change what came before, and we do not know what comes after. Let us make the most of our middle and help to make the story matter. Amen. Shalom. Blessed be.
Please come forward and drop a stone.
Good morning. I'd love to invite the children and youth and anyone else who'd like to come forward for our story today. Oh, yeah, I know, you're spilling. Careful. Oh, you spilled again. It's okay. Come on up, friends. So many friends today. Hello, hello. So I have a pretty good story today. It's kind of short, but I don't know if y'all noticed, the weather is really nice today. And for the first time in what seems like 4 million years, it is not rainy or cold on a Sunday morning. Woohoo! So we may or may not be going outside to play after I finish the story. Can you ask me a question after the story? Awesome. Okay, once upon a time, there was a family. Maybe this family had not quite enough to eat, Or maybe they had just enough, or maybe they had more than enough. You might not have been able to tell, though. They may not have been able to tell, actually. Sometimes it's hard to tell if you have enough or if you have too much. It's hard to not want more or different things than you already have, right? In any case, this family came together one day for a celebration, a feast. They gathered, as they do, around the table, and there was food. There was drink, and there were flowers to remind them of the beauty. And then there was a call from outside the door. Hello, we're hungry and we're thirsty, and we see that you have food and drink. May we come in? Well, the family didn't know the people at the door, though. They didn't know how to answer at first. Who were these people at their gate? Was it safe to let these people in? Did they have enough to share? Was there even enough room? But then they remembered. They remembered that most of them had come to this family, to this celebration, from somewhere else. They remembered that even they who were there at the table had not always been kind to each other. That there had been times when they had hurt each other. There were still times that they made each other sad or angry or afraid. And there was no way to live life completely safe all of the time. And they remember the times when others had shared with them, even when others may not have had quite enough of their own. They remembered when each new member of the family had been born or come to stay or married in, and they remembered how they'd always found a way to make room. And they remembered in an old saying, when you have more than you need, it's better to build a longer table than to build a higher fence. We have enough, they said. We might even have more than enough. We are many and strong, and we can hold a safe space here in our home for all that come. And so they went out to the door and to the gate and opened it up and let the people in. They invited in the people that were there, and inside they pulled out another table and they made space for the newcomers. They covered it with a cloth, and the newcomers set upon it a dish full of something fragrant and delicious, and which was strange and wonderful to the family. And everybody shared, and there was enough. The ends. Might be 2 levels to that story, grown-ups. You'll hear more about that later. All right, friends. If y'all would sing us downstairs, we're going to go outside and play.
I love getting to introduce people. So here we go again. Ruth Van Lillian is a Birmingham native and former member and staff member of UUCB. Originally a Methodist minister, she began attending with her family in 2005. Over 14 years, she served on the board and as the worship associate, chaired the stewardship committee, taught kids and adult RE, sang in the choir, and worked as the interim director of religious education. Please help me in welcoming Ruth to our pulpit.
When the fire of commitment sets our minds and souls ablaze, when our hungers and our passions meet to call us on our way, when we live with deep assurance of the flame that burns within, then our promise finds fulfillment and our future can begin. I had no idea such a church existed. I can't believe theists and non-theists can sit comfortably in church together. I think I have been UU all my life, but didn't know it. How many times have you heard a visitor say something like that? What is it about this Unitarian Universalist church that sparks your imagination? What ignites your hunger and your passion? Unlike some religious traditions, we do not attend church services to impress a deity or the church elders. We do not join in order to guarantee ourselves a lovely heavenly mansion to inhabit in the afterlife. While serving a Methodist church many years ago, a member said in frustration, "Why should my terrible ex-husband get to repent and receive a home in heaven like the one promised to me for being a good Christian?" Her question tickled my irreverent funny bone. And I replied, "Well, if it makes you feel better, imagine him spending eternity in a broken down shack with a perfect view of your lovely estate from the crescent moon in his outhouse door." The lure of heavenly mansions notwithstanding, many of us found our way here when someone told us something like, "Have you heard of the Unitarian Universalist Church? They welcome different ideas and honor all questions. They welcome all life-affirming faiths. Their priorities are love and justice." All those sparks kindled little flames in many of our hearts, and we arrived with curiosity and hope in the idea of a faith community where even we, the spiritual misfits and outcasts, the religiously abused and exploited, the faithful, lonely wanderers, could find a safe haven where we could shelter and grow, recover, and recharge. Like most religious organizations, we get our fair share of religious tourists. They arrive intrigued by our unique community and want to check out this strange phenomenon called Unitarian Universalism. These are the folk who just want to taste what we're offering, but are not interested in the full course meal. They have no real desire to participate, to deepen their own spiritual journey, to get their hands dirty in the organic garden, or to leave their footprints on the Justice March. They just want to see what's going on in this weird, wonderful place and share a cup of that good coffee. Now, there's nothing particularly wrong with religious tourism. We've all visited other faith communities for special events or to see other friends. We've peeked in at religious services when we travel. My dad, a local Birmingham leader in decades past, attended a conference and tour in Soviet
there's
Russia
nothing
in the
particularly
70s.
wrong with religious tourism.
After receiving his
We've all
request
visited
to
other
attend a
faith
church
communities for
service,
special events or to see
his guide and driver delivered Dad to an empty lot and shrugged without explanation. My father was not deterred and made his request with higher authorities for the following Sunday. Worried that he might go back with a bad report about religious freedom in Russia, they delivered him to the correct address, and Dad got to attend his first Russian Orthodox church service with native Russians. The story is not complete without my explaining what happened when Dad returned home. He did not sleep in the following Sunday, nor did he tour another church. He returned to his own Methodist congregation where he took his membership very seriously. He gave a presentation on his experiences in Russia, and he continued to sing in the choir, lead committees, help the soup kitchen, and pay his annual pledge. Dad did some occasional church touring, but the majority of his time, talent, and treasure went to his faith community, where he held membership for over 40 years. Now, if you are visiting today in either Birmingham or Tuscaloosa, you are most welcome. We are really glad you're here. You have the chance today to learn something about what membership and stewardship mean to Unitarian Universalists. Now, members and friends of both congregations, what inspires you to stay, to keep coming back, to annually renew your membership and your pledge? What are the sparks that ignite your commitment to this outrageous, radical faith? We are swimming upstream in the religious culture of the state of Alabama. And recent events have certainly driven that home. There's a lot going on in our two congregations to spark our energy and imaginations. Look how y'all have recovered from the pandemic. Wow. I know the recovery is ongoing, but I was there in Tuscaloosa when Sunday services became Zoom watch parties. I was there preaching to the camera in lieu of the live congregation week after week. Look how far y'all have come back from that. I heard details from Reverend Julie about the experiments in worship, music, justice, and children's ministry that y'all tried here in Birmingham. Look where you are now. Birmingham UU's Your Justice Committee is really fired up. The building will serve as the polling place again in just a few days. You have task forces for reproductive and environmental justice. And y'all are collaborating with the advocacy group Faith in Action Alabama. And the Poor People's March is just a few days away. Do you feel those sparks igniting inside of you? Let's consider how your religious education has recovered and expanded under nearly 3 years of Courtney McKinney's excellent leadership. Do you see all those kids? Oh, how wonderful. You've got a great cadre of child care staff, 13 RE volunteers this term. Your children's attendance is up. You have 41 kids enrolled in OWL. 4 classes of Our Whole Lives, which is the UU Comprehensive Sexuality Curriculum. It's one of our best things. There are a lot of sparks for the UU Summer Camp that's coming back this year. Your adult RE offerings have expanded. The Young Adults group is meeting again. And I had no idea Jim Albee could teach conversational Spanish. Don't forget the Mugs group and the Circle Mixers. Doesn't that spark your enthusiasm? Your Sunday services are going full speed, and streaming the service is now the norm. Who knew? Not only do you have growing adult and children's choirs, but your marvelous new choir director, Dr. Elizabeth Fisher, had the genius idea of having them collaborate. Those are some pretty impressive sparks right here. And there's the rest of your fantastic personnel. I have worked with a fair number of church staff over my years of volunteer and professional ministry, and I hope you'll take my word for it. Your current staff members are outstanding. Kim Van Sant seems fully ignited in the office. Jay Campbell's sparking those books. Your marvelous ministerial intern, Matthew Villarreal, is amping up his ministry with your help. Across the board, y'all have managed to hire some of the best personnel I've seen anywhere. And I congratulate you on your commitment to compensate them at levels befitting their expertise and dedication. I have been a compensation consultant for the UUA for almost 6 years, and I have talked to a lot of congregations planning their budgets, asking about staff compensation and how to set that up. Most mid-sized churches spend 65 to 75% of their budget compensating their staff. That's what it takes to find and keep such excellent personnel. So you all are right on board. Good for you. Are you feeling those sparks? Are you feeling those UU flames? And I couldn't talk about this without mentioning your amazing minister, the Reverend Julie Conradi. Among the hundreds of ministers I have known and worked with since my own ordination in 1994, Reverend Julie really stands out. After almost 6 years serving Birmingham and 2 serving Tuscaloosa, no one could doubt her gifts, her commitment, her ever-increasing expertise, her red-hot energy, her passion for justice, her dedication to building up both congregations, and her genuine love for all of you. Yes, that's right. I know working with her sparks your individual and collective excitement. And what about this marvelous and brave experiment of collaboration between these 2 congregations? I've been watching from a distance with great excitement as my home church and my first UU pastorate have gone where few congregations have gone before. I know it isn't always smooth or easy, but it's been almost 2 years and both groups have much to show for it. Tuscaloosa UUs, you are revitalizing your children's program and have just hired a new coordinator of religious education. Your Buddhist mindfulness meditation meets early Sunday mornings. You've restarted your circle suppers and your Soul Sisters women's group. Your justice team has multiple projects going, both long-term and new initiatives. Your leaders continue to study and consider options for the future of your building and location. There is a lot to get excited and ignited about in T-Town. There are vital, if less glamorous, elements of keeping congregations operational, like your grant for the new security system and improved fencing for the playground. Your finance committee has been working hard, and they managed to make timely adjustments to some budgeted expenditures, which avoided dipping into the endowment fund like they had anticipated a year ago. That's good news. Take a look at the aspirational draft of next year's budget. When you Birmingham UUs look through your stewardship packet, which should come in the email today. So please make sure you find it. There's a lot to keep you fired up about your future. Tuscaloosa, your stewardship packet is coming soon. Keep watch, listen out. Speaking of stewardship, it is a vital part of the covenant relationship we all share. To see stewardship as merely a necessary burden to endure, or as a bill that must be paid, is to do a grave disservice to the covenantal nature of our church communities. When we join the congregation and sign the membership book, we make a promise to one another to support the ministry we do together with every resource at our disposal. Members of Birmingham and Tuscaloosa, please remember that you don't pledge to the Board of Trustees or the Finance Committee or the minister. You don't pledge to the Unitarian Universalist Association. You pledge to each other. Repeat after me. We pledge to each other. We pledge to each other. You will not all be able to give the same amount, but you can all give generously from what you have. You each make a membership promise to this family of choice to help support your projects and pastimes, your mission and ministries. And I urge you, don't give so much to other organizations that you feel you don't have much left to give to your church. I support several charities, but my congregation is at the top of my list. In fact, it's not even on the same list. Congregations are not charities. They are for each of you, your community, your tribe, your family of choice. Make it your giving priority and give the lion's share of your financial donations to your church. Will the Audubon Society visit you in the hospital? Will Save the Children bring you a casserole when you're sick? Will the Humane Society provide pastoral services when you are in crisis, marry and bury your loved ones? Will any of your favorite charities offer you tangible friendship and provide real help in time of need? No, not likely. Only a community of faith does these things. Your community of faith is all these things to you and more. Why wouldn't you want to be generous and give as much support as possible to your congregation? Now, Unitarian Universalists don't do guilt. We don't twist arms to get money in the plate. I know there are some who live on very modest means, and I know they will make modest pledges. That's fine, really. Just do the best you can. Every member needs to make and pay a pledge every year, but the amount is up to you. You can always come and talk to Reverend Julie or your kind-hearted treasurer, Diane, here, and I think Deb in Tuscaloosa. There may also be some who have more generous resources at their disposal and somehow think they don't really need to give much. How we spend our money is deeply personal. So I just want to ask those who could afford to give more but haven't taken that step yet, do you think of your congregation as a luxury or a necessity? Do you rely on this congregation being here for you and your friends, come hell or high water? Are you depending on others to keep your church financially afloat, but less enthusiastic about sharing your own resources? Please just think about it. What steps could you take to up your pledging game? See, everyone is counting on each other's generous participation. As you feel the sparks igniting excitement within you for the amazing faith community you are part of, please hold on to this. You pledge to each other. Say it again. We pledge to each other. You share your resources together and create this living collective organism that is your church, your congregation. My friends, in my 19 years as a Unitarian Universalist, beloved UUs have talked with me, listened to me, sung with me, taught my children, fed my family, cared for me in illness, loved me through loss, and offered this gray-headed woman of the cloth many opportunities to serve with my training and talents. I am so grateful to my UU tribe, and I am so ignited by the sparks going off in both my former congregations. I am humbled and honored to join you today on the journey Let the sparks fly. Let's get ignited. Remember that you are all counting on each other to fulfill your membership promises so that your future can begin. Amen. Shalom. Blessed be.
I'm not sure that an offertory is really necessary after Ruth's stewardship message, but here we go. Good morning. I'm Kate Staub, a member of our board. Our church is supported, as Ruth said, by those who call this church home and by others in our community who believe in our mission to change the world for the better. If this is your first time with us today, you can just pass the plate when it comes around. We are just glad that you're here with us. We share our cash plate every Sunday with organizations whose work reflects UU values. Our Share the Plate for today, and this is actually our last Share the Plate for this recipient, is Faith in Action, Alabama. So if you haven't given to Faith in Action this month and you would like to, this is your chance. As we've heard in recent weeks, Faith in Action is a multi-faith, multiracial organization that works to honor God by achieving systemic change to create pathways of opportunity for all Alabamians. And I've had such a wonderful time getting to know Jay Gregory, who's leading that initiative, and it just really speaks to my heart. We appreciate your donations, either by placing them in our plate today, or you can mail your donation to the church, or use any of our digital platforms like PayPal, Venmo, or Zelle. Thank you for your support of our church and our Share the Plate recipient. May we give in love and in hope.
From earlier during our meditation time, I wanted to make sure that everybody is aware of a couple, not exactly prayer requests, but when we lift people up, these are some folks we need to be thinking of. Ivy Edwards is currently battling cancer. She announced that this week. John Powell is still experiencing some health issues. And Mac and Evelyn Dolphin have lost their 24-year-old grandson, David Alexander. So please be keeping all of these individuals, along with our wonderful Reverend Julie, in your thoughts and prayers, in your hearts. Reach out if you're friends with them. None of these things are easy right now. And I really appreciated what Ruth had to say about how this is our community, this is our chosen family, and right now some of our family really needs us. So please rise in body or spirit for our closing hymn, and then be seated for our extinguishing of the chalice through the postlude.
Number 1028, The Fire of Commitment. From the light of days remembered burns a beacon bright and clear, guiding hands and hearts and spirits into faith set free from fear. When the fire of commitment sets our mind and souls ablaze, when our hunger and our passion meet to call us on our way, when we live with deep assurance of the flame that burns within, then our promise finds fulfillment and our future can begin. From the stories of our living rings a strong, both brave and free, calling pilgrims still to witness to the life of liberty. When the fire of commitment sets our mind and souls ablaze, when our hunger and our passion meet to call us on our way, when we live with deep assurance of the flame that burns within, then our promise finds fulfillment and our future can begin. From the dreams of youthful vision comes a new prophetic voice, which demands a deeper trust is built by our courageous choice. When the fire of commitment sets our mind and soul ablaze, when our hunger and our passion meet to call us on our way, when we live with deep assurance of the flame that burns within, then our promise finds fulfillment and our future can begin.
Together, we have enjoyed the warmth and beauty of stories of this flame and of this special community. As our chalice flame is extinguished this morning, we can still remember that its glow is carried with us. We can use our inner lights and this flame to kindle new sparks throughout our lives and in the world. May the spirit of peace and togetherness bless your lives.